This is real.
The return to glory.
Did we just see what we think we just saw?
If that doesn't give you chills, you're never going to get it.
As good as it gets.
The final four teams.
A trip to the Super Bowl is on the line.
Who goes to Super Bowl 60?
Shaheed to the end zone. Welcome to the Hawks' Nest.
Here they come, and they fumble.
Over the pylon. What a play.
Let's go, Frank.
Sidearm pass, it's wide open, and he runs it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
Fires for Diggs, makes the catch. Touchdown, Patriots.
Together now.
Holy catfish.
Together now. Together now.
Well, the city of Denver, Colorado has waited 10 long years to get back to the AFC Championship game. And folks, while much has changed in the last decade, today must feel like deja vu. The Denver Broncos, armed with a stifling defense and facing questions under center, will host the New England Patriots, led by a quarterback squarely in the MVP conversation, and with the trip to Santa Clara and the Super Bowl on the line. Both squads will battle in 25-degree temperatures that feel like 14. And Drake May has spent this season etching his name among the best in the league. The second-year quarterback carries the weight of Dynasty's past on his shoulders, and a victory today would mean one step closer to restoring the glory to this storied franchise. And few men in history, the history of this league, could understand the pressure that Jarrett Stidham faces today. But don't worry, Broncos, he looks ready to ride. With Bo Nix sidelined, Stidham finds himself on the cusp of immortality, and as Bill Cowher said, with the opportunity of a lifetime in his hands. And hello, folks, and welcome to the NFL Today, powered by Ram Trucks. I'm James Brown, coming to you live from right here in Power Field at Mile High, Denver, folks. We are elated to be joined by the warmest group of colleagues I've worked with. That would be the Hall of Fame coach, of course, Bill Cowher, the multi-talented Emmy Award-winning Nate Burleson, former All-Pro and current studio analyst of NFL Today Plus, and my nephew, that would be Kyle Long, and of course, the 14-year vet, four-time Pro Bowler, and current Atlanta Falcons quarterback, Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, before we get to Jarrett Stidham, we have to talk about how we got here. And a man that played a significant role in getting the Broncos here, that's Bo Nix. Absolutely heartbreaking end to the game last week. He was fantastic throughout. A designed run. He fractures his ankle on this play. Little did we know. And then what happens after this? He didn't limp off to the sideline. He actually tried to jog it off. He did a post-game interview with Tracy Wolfson and then walked off the field, and we find out that he fractured his ankle. Bo Nix played a significant role in helping build what they had a foundation of this year, which is hardcore, hard-nosed football, run the ball and throw it downfield. Now, it was up to Bo Nix to get him here, but it is up to Jarrett Stidham to close it out and take them to the Super Bowl.
And Jarrett Stidham's a guy that knows this offense. Although he has not played the last 2 years, he did play in the preseason. This is stats with 2 preseason games. Very, very impressive. When you look at it, though, to me, for Sean Payton, it's what the first 10 plays are. Because right now for Jarrett Stidham, it's about making sure he gets comfortable. Because I think that's the thing you want to do. Kirk, you know this as well as anything. Those first 10 plays, I want to make sure my quarterback is comfortable. Let Jarrett Stidham have some input into that. The one thing you got to do today is stay on schedule.
Yes.
You don't want to get third and long against this defense.
Absolutely. Sean Payton has to have the best first 10 of the season this game. I think the stage is very important for Stidham to understand. This is not week 8. To have 0 pass attempts all season and now be starting in the AFC Championship game is really unprecedented. This is a massive stage for him, and I think he's ready for it. I think his teammates believe in him. I know Coach Payton has confidence in him, but this is a big stage, and he's got to be able to handle that and show that he can handle that.
And I'll be honest, Drake May's been fantastic, but there's question marks on both sides of the quarterback position. Protection is going to be paramount. Josh McDaniels understands 2 edge rushers for the Denver Broncos and a real killer inside in Zach Allen. He's got his work cut out for him. So does Drake May today. I look for protection to be the priority all day long for the Patriots.
All right, Cal, time now for the game report presented by Verizon. And folks, for more on our matchup, let's check in with our excellent reporter, starting with the 2-time Emmy Award-winning colleague. That will be Tracy Wolfson. Hello, Tracy.
Hello, JB, and you guys mentioned it. What a whirlwind it has been for this Broncos team since they found out that Bo Nix is lost for the season. But Sean Payton flipped the switch quickly. He turned the page, and he instilled confidence in his quarterback, Jarrett Stidham. The first conversation in the locker room was, I'm not worried about you, Stiddy. Let it rip. Well, I can tell you, I just spoke to Jarrett Stidham out here. He told me he slept like a baby. He said he's feeling confident, the most confident he's ever felt going into a game. And he said that's because he's just calm. He's wiser. He's more mature and more experienced in this system. Now, I can tell you, we were out at the Broncos facility this week, and that confidence level throughout the team is sky high. No more evident than when Sean Payton walked up to me in practice, looked me in the eye, and said, we're going to win this game. I'm sure the Patriots have something to say about that. Well, let's send it to Evan Washburn, who caught up earlier with Patriots quarterback Drake May.
Well, Drake, first of all, we appreciate your time. We've talked in the past about your championship game experience. I know you're proud of a college hoops intramural title game. What are the emotions like as you get set for your first AFC championship?
I think excited to be out here with the guys. Back on the road. So looking forward to being in this environment. I know it's going to be tough. They got a great team. Looking forward to playing with the guys and coming out with the win.
Your offense and you have been through a gauntlet in terms of the defenses you have faced. What concerns you about this Broncos unit?
Yeah, they're good all around. They get after the passer. They're good in the back end. We got a tough job, but I like our chances, and I think protect the football and go out there and do what we've been doing.
You mentioned going on the road. Only team in the NFL undefeated away from home. What is it about this team that embraces these challenges on the road?
Yeah, we play for each other. We got an identity that Coach Vrabel's mentioned the first team meeting we had, and we tried to build that, and we built that, and we try to carry on the road, and that's one of the best things we've been doing. So we play to that, and we got, like I said, we got a tough job. So they're pretty good over there, and they deserve credit. We both deserve to be here, so it's going to be a good one.
Last one for you. You mentioned Mike Vrabel. What was the message last night as you guys came together for one of those final meetings before this game?
Yeah, I think we've come this far, not just come this far. And I think that's one more road test. Why not finish out on one that's going to be the sweetest?
Good luck, Drake. Enjoy, man.
Thank you, guys. Go Pats.
All right, Evan, thank you so much, and we'll check back with you in just a bit. Hey, folks, here in Denver, the grounds crew is blowing some light snow flurries off the field, but check out this live look at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, where it is a comfortable 12 degrees, but it feels like 2. Having gone to school in New England, it's awesome there. The snow already coming down with anywhere between 12 and 20 inches expected in the area.
And there is Garrett Bowles, first-team All-Pro. Hey, listen, Bo Nix might be sidelined, but he is top of mind for his teammates.
Coming up on the AFC Championship edition of the NFL Today. In 2 seasons, Drake May has quickly become a top-tier NFL QB. But can he follow in the footsteps of the franchise greats and usher in another Patriots dynasty? As NFC West rivals, the Rams and Seahawks have played some big games, but tonight's showdown in Seattle may top them all. We'll go live to the Emerald City to get all the lowdown. In 1997, a young NFL coach drafted a young defensive star out of Ohio State. This week, the two sat down for a must-see interview. It's Coach Cowher and Coach Vrabel later on in the show. All that and more when the NFL Today continues on CBS.
Saturday. It's chaos for the crown. Live from Australia. Alexander the Great.
I can't be stopped.
Defends his throne in a rematch against Diego Lopez.
He is a real threat.
Stream every fight.
Yes.
Free with your Paramount Plus subscription.
Yes. You gotta be kidding me! Bring him on!
Pay-per-view just got knocked out. UFC 325, Saturday, only on Paramount Plus.
The NFL Today on CBS is powered by Ram Trucks. Nothing stops Ram.
Patriots owner Robert Kraft was in attendance last night for UFC's triumphant debut on Paramount Plus. And in the main event, Justin Gaethje defeated Paddy Pimblett by unanimous decision to capture the interim lightweight championship. Time now for pregame HQ delivered by Domino's.
The Super Bowl champion New England Patriots.
The dynasty continues for the New England Patriots.
You know, they're all sweet, so they're all different. We won, I can't believe it, Super Bowl champs.
Come on now, we ain't done.
Tom Brady, tough to football. He has control of it.
And the Patriots are Super Bowl champions.
The New England Patriots claim their second Super Bowl championship.
Back. A fourth Lombardi trophy is headed to one Patriot player. Completed the greatest comeback in Super Bowl history.
And there it is. The dynasty continues.
And in just his second season, Drake May has a chance to add another Lombardi trophy back to the Patriots collection. This season, he led the league in completion percentage and yards per attempt, all while owning the best record in football. And for more on the Patriots, let's check back in with Evan Washburn.
Hey, JB, just 23 years old, and Drake May finds himself on this big stage. And we heard from him earlier in the show, but talking to him more last night about what to expect in this environment, the noise. That's going to be a big challenge for him. Operationally, he wants to get in and out of the huddle, get to the line of scrimmage, diagnose this Denver defense with 20 or more seconds on the play clock, because it's going to be an immense challenge. But the confidence for this team right now has to lie in what their defense is doing. They've been dominant the last two games, just one touchdown allowed, and they feel like they've been underrated all season, but especially in this postseason. And they get to feast on Jarrett Stidham in this game, and their goal is to prove to everyone here that they're the best defense on this field, JB.
Right now.
All right, Evan, thank you so much. What a difference
Yeah, listen, every team is built on who they have in the building and then who they bring in. And the New England Patriots did a great job of bringing in playmakers. And it's not just about the guys who make plays on Sundays. Just take a look at this. Yeah, they went out and they spent some money. But it's never just about the talent. Coach, you know this. It's new voices, new habits, new accountability. These additions, they don't just make plays on Sunday. They echo what the head coach is trying to do, what he's trying to say, what he's trying to get across to his team Monday through Saturday in the locker room. And this is a big reason why the Patriots are in the position they are in right now.
They only have 6 free agents coming up this spring, so they are a team that not only was put together last season or last offseason, and they've hit on these people, but they're built to last with a young quarterback who's relatively inexpensive. But this is a defense that I have a lot of respect for. There's just not a lot of freebies. Everything is hard-earned. They may not have quite as much flash as the Denver defense, but Marcus Jones may be the best nickel in the league. Christian Gonzalez might be one of the best corners in the league. There's some real talent on this defense, and it's a great scheme.
There is an Achilles heel, though, for the New England Patriots. You got to find a way to protect your MVP candidate. You talked about guys they brought into the fold in New England, and they hit a home run with them. They got 2 rookies on the left side, Jared Wilson, Will Campbell. Will Campbell, first-round pick. He's been playing banged up. They have to find a way to tame those fire-breathing dragons at edge rusher. And in addition to the fire-breathing dragons, coach, they got a guy in Zach Allen right up the middle. So in that protection meeting last night, there's 2 guys who feel like they're going to be with their buddy, and there's always going to be one guy who's going to be by himself, coach.
And you know what, Kyle, being offensive lineman, how you stop a good pass rush?
You run that ball,
baby. Run the football, baby. So they do it better than anybody. They'll put 6 offensive linemen in there. The fullback, Jack Westover, 23 snaps last week, and then that 2-headed monsters, Stevenson and Henderson. I'm telling you, they are very good. Josh McDaniels understands what this football game is about. It's about controlling the tempo. He wants to take this game to the 4th quarter. We saw him do it last week against the Houston Texans. The biggest thing for them is don't get behind. They get the lead. They are a tough team to beat because they can run the rock.
Yeah, they can run the rock. Another thing they will do, Drake May is not afraid to take that shot downfield.
Yeah.
When he recognizes single coverage, man on man, and a receiver knows that, especially Kayshon Boutte, he is going to go up top to him every single time. And even though Stephon Diggs is a little bit older, he makes play after play after play for his quarterback.
It's really a wide receiver by committee. You know, you're used to seeing rosters where we have our number 1, we have our number 2, we have our number 3. This group, Stephon Diggs probably is the lead name, but really they rely on Boutte, they rely on Diggsy, they rely on Douglas, they rely on their 2 tight ends. So it's a really difficult offense to defend because any eligible could get the football and contribute.
Yeah, you're right about that.
I think the one thing that stands out to me with Drake May, and you talked about his down the field throwing, and everybody wants to talk about the weather, and the fans are going to be crazy here in Denver, but that confidence that Drake May has, those cocky throws he makes, and it's the tide that lifts up all ships. The confidence in that building is because of Vrabel, but it's, in my opinion, because of Drake May.
Yeah, so Josh McDaniels with that offense, the ability to control the game with the running game and the passing game. The biggest thing you talked about, protection passing, but Drake May's got to protect the football because this Denver defense will get after you.
Speaking of a fire-breathing dragon, that's Kyle Long, is he not?
Yeah. Hey, I figured the donuts would be over by him.
No hat.
Hey, folks.
No hat.
Time now for CBS Sports On the Road, brought to you by Dunkin'.
That's right. Shout out to my family over at Dunkin'. You can get Dunkin's $5 meal deal. You can get a delicious wake-up wrap, crispy hash browns, and a medium hot or iced coffee for just $5. Available now at Dunkin'. And you know, they say America runs on Dunkin', and I say Broncos country runs on big plays and big wins. You know what?
Get him, Nate.
I'm going to go ahead and feed the people.
Get him, Nate.
Kyle, you got to have
Come
one
on.
of those.
Give me one of those.
Kyle.
Custard
I need one, too. I'm handing it to one of my buddies. Come on over here. Who wants this donut? My man right here.
Yeah. That's right.
Feed these people.
We got more.
All right, so while my guys feed the crowd,
there's more.
Broncos fans are hoping this man right here, Jarrett Stidham, will feed the scoreboard. He's up for the challenge. We'll find out if
they call me Bro Winfrey. You get a donut. You get a donut. You get a donut.
Welcome to Week 16. Los Angeles Rams and the Seattle Seahawks for control of the NFC West.
Seahawks can jump right back into this game.
Holy catfish! Wide open, reaching up, touchdown!
And the Seahawks are going to go for 2. They're reviewing the play.
The quarterback threw a backward pass. This was recovered in the end zone by the offense.
Puka touchdown!
Jackson, Smith, and Jigba. If the Seahawks score the 2-point conversion, they're going to beat the Rams. The Seahawks win the game.
Okay, folks, following our game today, championship weekend concludes later with another chapter of the Rams and Seahawks rivalry, that over on Fox. And for more on the NFC Championship game, let's head out to Seattle and tap in with the always insightful Melanie Collins. Hello, Melanie.
Well, hello from Seattle, JB, as we get set for this heavyweight battle in the NFC Championship game between the NFL's #1 scoring offense and the #1 scoring defense. And these two teams know each other well, and this Seahawks defense had their hands full in that last outing in Week 16 as Matthew Stafford and Puka Nacua connected for 225 yards and 2 touchdowns in that game. Remember, they didn't have Devontae Adams in that game either. He's back in the lineup for this one, so Mike McDonald is going to have to come up with a much better game plan to defend those receivers. Meanwhile, Sam Darnold has put together back-to-back 14-win seasons, but he has struggled mightily against this Rams team. He's thrown 6 interceptions against them this season, and he will be playing through that oblique injury that limited him in practice again this week. He split the reps with Drew Lock, but Sam Darnold is confident in the oblique, and he's confident in himself after that comeback win in Week 16, saying this week, if I see my guys open downfield, I'm not going to hesitate to let it rip. JV?
Ought to be a good one, Melanie. Thank you so very much. And as I turn to my colleagues here, the 2 games played between These two squads this season have been decided by a combined 3 points. Today could be another close one.
Yeah, I think it will be. Talking about a divisional game, we saw another third divisional game last week when the Seattle's went against San Francisco, and they beat San Francisco down.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to go back to this, and Melanie mentioned this. No Devontae Adams the last time. And I would say this to Sean McVay. Do not kick the ball to Rashid Shaheed, okay? Keep him out of the equation. He returned a punt last time for a touchdown. I like this team about the Rams. One thing I like about the Rams, the quarterback. This might be his last dance. Now, I think everyone's going around him. You talk about this football team, they can run the ball with Kyron Williams. They got 3 tight ends that can block. This is a very talented team. The biggest thing they got to do is not turn the football over. No big plays in the kicking game. Then they got a good chance, but Seattle is playing good football. I will say that.
So you're saying Matt Stafford, this could be his last dance like Michael Jordan?
Kind of like.
Okay,
yeah.
and he does make everybody better around him. Just think about the receivers he has played with. Calvin Johnson, Cooper Kupp, now Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams. The list goes on. But I digress. Even though I'm partial because I played with Matt Stafford, and I love him as a talented quarterback and a thrower of the football, and I believe a surefire Hall of Famer, I'm going with the Seahawks. They are just too balanced of a team. And even though there's been this criticism that Sam Darnold can't play in big moments late in the season or in the postseason, he has proven all of those narratives wrong. Seattle is the team that I'm looking at to make another step towards the Super Bowl.
I think in this rivalry, both teams feel like they should have gone 2-0 against one another during the season. I think Seattle looks at it and says, we won at home, week 16. Yeah. We threw 4 interceptions on the road and only lost by 3 points. We really had them in both games. And then I think the Rams really say the flip side. They say we won at home and we went up there and some breaks didn't go our way and we didn't, close it out, but we played the best anybody's played against that Seattle defense all season. So the question is, can that Seattle defense put out a better showing? Because it was very uncharacteristic in week 16. Or are the Rams going to be able to keep that up, what they did week 16 up in Seattle?
If I had to choose one word to describe the Seattle Seahawks, they are a bully. They've played that way all season long. They have to snuff out the passing game as soon as it happens. No yards after catch. The other thing I'm watching, that Rams defensive front last week took ownership of the line of scrimmage, bullied around that Chicago Bears offense. They're going to have to do that to Seattle this week.
I hope folks would rework that narrative on Sam Darnold. Look, he has persevered and he's performed, period. All right, folks, time to pick the game.
I'm going to go with the quarterback I think who's having an MVP season. I'm going to say the Los Angeles Rams 31, Seattle 24. Matthew Stafford is heading to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, Matthew Stafford, I love you, and I love what Sean McVay has done with this team this year. But I'm going with the Seattle Seahawks in this one, 27-24.
I believe defense wins championships. I think Seattle has the better defense. Not by much, but they do have the better defense. I believe Sam Darnold is going to lead them to the Super Bowl. He's a resilient player. He's going to do it. I got Seattle 34-28 in a higher scoring game than you'd think.
All right.
I think they've got the better football team, the Seattle Seahawks, and they also have the 12s in attendance. I'm going to be going with the Seattle Seahawks 28-24, moving on to the Super Bowl.
I like that descriptor being added to Sam Darnold. Resilient indeed. All right, folks, and while 4 squads continue to write the book on this season, others are already turning the page. This coaching cycle certainly has been one busy one. A record-tying 10 openings, 6 have already been filled, with the latest move coming in Pittsburgh. That's where Mike McCarthy has agreed to become the next coach of the Steelers.
Yeah, I like this move for this reason. I think the best thing Mike McCarthy gives them is some stability on the offensive side of the ball. Listen, Art, Omar, and Dan, they did their rigorous search. They talked to a lot of people. But when you look at Mike McCarthy, he coached under Marty Schottenheimer. He got great respect for the running game. He coached Joe Montana. He coached Brett Favre. He coached Aaron Rodgers. And he coached Dak Prescott. He elevated the offense to another level. And I think that's the one thing the Pittsburgh Steelers have missed in the last 4 or 5 years is consistency on the offensive side of the ball. They get sacks, they get turnovers, and so that's the one thing they give. And also Mike McCarthy, he's from Pittsburgh. He understands the tradition. He understands the expectation. And he also, being there, he's a Yinzer himself. He understands what Steeler Nation is all about and the passion they bring every Sunday.
Yeah, it is fascinating that they went with a little bit of a different direction than the previous head coaching hires, right? First-time head coaches, as you know all about that. But I also feel like this is just the first step. He's going to have to delegate responsibility. And here it is right here. And look at that. Listen, the expectation is to win Super Bowls. So my question is, who do you bring in next? Whether McCarthy is going to be calling the plays or not, who are you bringing in as an OC and a DC to help you get a Super Bowl run under the Pittsburgh umbrella.
That's well said, Nate. I believe it's not just the head coach, although that gets all the attention. It's the staff. You've got to build out a really strong staff, starting with your coordinators, then your position coaches, and then moving down to the quarterback. Does bringing in Mike McCarthy, this is a big question I don't have an answer to. Does bringing in Mike McCarthy bring Aaron Rodgers back? Does it cause Aaron Rodgers to step away?
That's a great question.
I don't know. I would like to think, as a veteran player looking back, you tend to remember your early coaches very fondly. And I would think he's remembering the good days, and if there ever were bad days, I think they're distant memories, and I think it may bring him back.
And let me just say this about Aaron Rodgers. He gave those guys a personality this year on the offensive side of the ball. He was a very positive influence in that locker room. He would be an addition to that locker room if he does come back.
Hey, we're talking quarterbacks. How about we talk about that big freak up there by Niagara Falls? They got a head coach opening in Buffalo. If I'm a guy who's a coach, I'm saying, I'm going to attach my ship to number 17, and he can take me as far as it goes. Who do you guys think's up for that gig? Obviously, anybody can win with Josh Allen.
It's so unique to have a team with an MVP caliber quarterback, a team that's perennially in the playoffs, that won a road playoff game this season, to have a head coaching vacancy.
Hey, from my humble perspective, unassailable folks who know how to make great decisions among many. Bob Kraft with the Patriots, clearly Kansas City with the Hunts. And the family in Pittsburgh.
The Rooney family.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think the one thing about Buffalo, again, I think obviously you have to look at what the expectation is going to be up there when you go up there. You have a great quarterback, a franchise quarterback, Hall of Fame quarterback, and just got to make sure we sit there and just regulate what your expectation is. You're starting over again. You're going to start fresh. This guy can take you, but it takes a football team, not just a quarterback, to win a championship.
That's right. Speaking of teams, shout out to my Nickelodeon team. Each week on Nickelodeon, join yours truly and my guy, Young Dylan, as we turn the highlights into slime lights and find out who takes home the slimiest trophy in the land, the MVP. All that and more on NFL Slime Time, Wednesdays at 5 Eastern and Thursdays on Paramount+. You know, they say, go ahead and touch Earth every once in a while. Whose feet are these? That is Mac Hollins. My man is touching Earth. And let's be clear, it is very cold out here. The question is he going to ball out?
Fans, get ready for the 2026 NFL Pro Bowl games powered by Verizon. Watch the league's top stars face off in an AFC versus NFC flag football showdown coached by Hall of Famers Jerry Rice and Steve Young. Catch all the action Tuesday, February 3rd on ESPN and Disney XD. Broncos defensive end Zach Allen, folks, he's enjoying a career year, notching his first Pro Bowl selection. And earlier today, the All-Pro spoke with our own Tracy Wolfson.
Zach, thanks for joining me. What a crazy week. Jarrett Stidham getting the start, first start since 2023. You know him well. You've seen him in practice. What can we expect out of him today?
Yeah, no, he's been awesome. Obviously, you know, he goes against us every single, week the past 3 years. So we've seen it, and, he really is a stud, and his preparation second to none. And it's really impressive, honestly, for the 3 years. You just never know what you're going to get. He's the first one in, last one out still. So we have full faith in him, and, kind of like SP says, we're worried about probably some other people not steady.
Typical Sean Payton. But when you have a new starting quarterback, does the defense feel extra pressure to carry this team?
I wouldn't say extra pressure. I mean, our standard is our standard. So, as a defense, we want to take over every single game we play in, regardless of, who we're playing and, what the offense or special teams is looking like. So for us, we just treat it like a normal week. I think that's the best way to do it. And, yeah, we're excited for today.
This front's had a lot of success. Drake May, 6 fumbles, 10 sacks in these playoffs. What's the key to getting pressure on him today?
Yeah, no, he does a hell of a job of, getting the ball out quick. But, when that first, second read is gone and the check down's gone, we got to take advantage of those opportunities. So, yeah, no, I think we had a good week of practice. VJ, has an awesome plan as usual. So we'll see how it goes, but we're excited for it.
What would it mean? Win this one and take this team to the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I came here, I wanted to play for a storied franchise, and, there's probably Denver's second to none, and you just kind of feel the buzz around the city and with the fans, so to give them that again is, would be incredible, and, would just really confirm why I came here.
We wish you the best of luck. Thank you.
Very much. Appreciate it.
Hey, folks, Zach Allen is, of course, a member of Vance Joseph's dominant Broncos defense that thrives in large part due to their historic pass rush. Check this out. Denver's 131 sacks in the last 2 years ranks third all-time, only behind the Chicago Bears in the mid-80s. And Cal, the descriptive one, they are a handful.
Yeah, they are definitely a handful. When you're preparing for this group, you have to worry about speed first and foremost on the edge. And what does that do? Gives you one-on-ones on the inside. Zach Allen here with a lot of runway to pick his side. He goes right down the middle on the guard. That's what I'm talking about. Physicality with the Broncos. And here, you want to confuse an offensive line? 8 up on the line of scrimmage, Coach Cowher. We don't know what the hell we're looking at. Next thing you know, linebackers bluff like they're blitzing, and they bail. They buy Kareem Hunt's eyes. Next thing you know, you got a free runner. They are looking like the 85 Bears, Coach Cowher. And then this will take me to my favorite one. Speed, 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 speed. What does that set up? Power. This is Jordan Mailata, the left tackle from Oceana, getting a taste of Nick Bonito here on the edge. And this is what the Broncos are going to be looking for all day. Problem is, against pressure, Drake May, 70%, 15 touchdowns, 0 interceptions.
Boy, you were getting upset watching that for the offensive line, weren't you, Cal? I'll tell you, the one thing I'll say, and Zach talked about this, VJ, Vance Joseph, that's who he's talking about, the defensive coordinator. He has done a fantastic job with his defense, multiple looks. The other thing they have to defend is going to be the running game. But I'll tell you what, they can do that. They're inside too. Alex Singleton and Dre Greenlaw, those two guys play middle linebacker as well as anybody. This is going to be a great matchup, strength against strength. The front seven of the Denver Broncos against that offensive line of the New England Patriots.
The Broncos defense needs to be the run defense of the regular season when they were second in the league. I didn't see it last week here against Buffalo. They were giving up gashes, but they are an explosive defense. So they could get gashed in the run game, and then they created 5 turnovers. So between their sacks and the turnovers, they can make up for some mistakes in the run game. But it'll be interesting to see today if the Patriots can impose their will running the football.
Yeah, and Kyle, you mentioned Drake May under pressure. Let's pull up that graphic and show people what Drake May has been doing. Check this out, under pressure this season. Okay, yeah, he's been sacked 10 times, fumbled 6, and he lost 3 of those fumbles. But here's the thing, occasionally he will gash you. Let's roll the footage. Hey, check out these plays right here. All right, this is old school day one install. You got fades on the outside. You got Derek Stingley Jr. Most QBs won't throw his way, but Kayshon Boutte tries to climb on top, leaves the quarterback little to no room. He throws it where only his receiver can get it or it will be incomplete. Now you motion Stefon Diggs. You see a man going with him. That shows you that it's man. I want you to check out how clouded this window is. You know there's only one place to throw it. You have to throw in anticipation, trust your wide receiver, and check out these hands as Stefon Diggs takes the hit. That's a quarterback trusting his guy. And then once again, this is about movement and then relocation. Drake May gets flushed out of the pocket. He's going to signal like a point guard saying, I'm throwing the alley-oop. Stefon Diggs reverse pivots, finds the sideline, throws it on a dot. Zoop! Absolute laser. So they can play traditional football. Yes. They can also go into scramble drill and throw the ball deep and gash you either way. Yeah, pressure can get to Drake May, but he can also get at you.
Yeah, Diggsy now in his 30s, coming off the ACL. He's had to kind of evolve his game, become a little bit more of a savvy wide receiver, playoff schedule. He always had very strong hands, but as he gets older, I think his game will age well, and I think we'll see that today as he sits in zones and finds open spots for Drake to get him the football.
Yeah. You know, the other thing, I've got their Hunter Henry, the tight end.
Oh, yeah.
He's a guy, no one's talked about him. Yeah. But you start running the football, the play action part of that with the tight end is a big part. Kyle Williams is another receiver right there that he does a lot. And these receivers do a great job blocking.
Yeah.
Talk about a great running game. These guys will do it. They go into their big people, and you'll get the running back. Chisholm will come in there. He's like a little pit bull that goes in there. He'll hunt down. And the biggest thing you're going to have to say, those two corners, Riley Moss and Surtain, they're going to have to show up in the run game because they're going to have them one-on-one with Henderson and Stevenson right now. They're going to have to make those one-on-one tackles on those running backs.
Because Kirk and Nate, you and I both know, in those install meetings, they draw it up so everybody gets blocked and the running back gets an opportunity to do what? Coach, what you said. Go put one of those little guys into the grass. And if you want to protect your quarterback, that's the easiest way to do it. Run the football with effectiveness.
Yeah, you're right about that. And that's why the receivers for the Patriots offense, they're more than just pass catchers. Like, they're all in. You said it. It's a group by committee. It's one guy that stands out every single week, not one guy week after week. And when it comes to them blocking in the run game, they are physical. Not only will they block the corners, but they'll go in and dig out a linebacker, dig out a DN, or even dig out a safety.
And VJ, talking about Vance Joseph, he'll have a plan for the big people if they go in there with the fullback.
Yeah.
He's got a good job with that.
You know what? I'm accustomed to seeing a defensive player flip the switch like you and get angry in a description. I think there's somebody in your household who does that pretty well by the name of Howie. Hey, folks, we've got a lot more coming your way right here with the Denver Broncos fans after this.
And there is Drake May hugging a guy who knows how to craft a championship team, and that is Robert Kraft. He's probably telling him, hey, bring home another one, just like a former quarterback. They used to bring us home championships. All right, now, if the NFL regular season is a marathon, then the playoffs are an absolute gauntlet, right? That's right. It's one battle after another. Shout out to Leonardo DiCaprio. Now, that leaves teams battered and bruised. They can't even reach the finish line without feeling the effects of that. Now, who better to explain that grind than America's favorite drill sergeant? My guy, Kyle Brandt.
We're looking for a few good teams. 2 teams to represent this league and this nation in the Super Bowl. This course is the playoffs. And the NFL playoffs are the great redeemer, the fiery crucible in which only true champions are forged. Are you all ready to battle? Sir! Prove it. And here we go. Oh, look who's back, the LA Chargers. Oh, my goodness. Protect yourself at all times, son. Protect yourself at any time. And this is going to be the end. End of the run, end of the era. Thank you very much. We're still in the wild card right now. We're just getting warmed up. And look who's here. Is it Carolina? My goodness. Wow, you really did back your way in. You can stop pounding now, though, son. Come on. Oh, the Green Bay Packers, and down they go. You got to learn to finish your sworn enemy while you got them down. You know what? Let's shake hands. You know what? Let's not. Come on. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Now, come here. Come here. Come here. Bring it in here. You're not going to win this thing, but I just want to say congratulations on your success, young man. You hold your head up. You've had a most successful run. You did a great job out there. All right, stay with me now. What do we do? Philadelphia, didn't you win this course last year? What kind of Rocky V sequel is this? Get out of here. I'm going into the divisional. Now it's getting serious. Oh, no, we got injuries. Come on, come in. Can we get a medic out here, please? We got a medic. Yeah, she's been through a lot. Take her to the infirmary. It's right next to the electrical substation. She'll be fine. Buffalo, what are you doing this far back in the pack? That makes about as much sense as court-martialing a general because his army isn't given the right weapons. And we got the Chicago Bears. Wow, that's incredible. I've never seen anything like that. That's incredible. You didn't win, but that was incredible. Uh-oh, sometimes you got to get your own hands dirty. I'm getting down in here because Houston, good Lord, what happened? Oh, self-inflicted wounds will get you every single time. Poor Houston, somebody clean that up. And look what we got here. Our best of the best. 2 win this course, 2 win a trip to Cabo. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Now get up that rope. Go, 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 get up that rope. Yes, sir. And we will see you in San Francisco.
Man, shout out to my guy, Kyle Brandt. KB, you have been great for us all season long. And a huge thank you to New York Maritime College for the use of their obstacle course. Your pride and professionalism is first and foremost. We appreciate you. Now, I got to bring in some guys that know a little something about the championship game. And that's Logan Ryan and Antonio Pierce. Give it up for them. All right, fellas, as we know, this isn't just your ordinary playoff game. It's a little bit different. As soon as their feet hits the ground in the morning that they hop out of bed, they know how big of a deal this is. What are you guys looking at when it comes to this matchup?
Well, I'll tell you what. I've lost two AFC championship games here. Okay?
So you know
I'm not too fond of this place. They're lucky this game isn't in Foxborough. It's not cold enough. It's not cold enough for them. But I'll tell you what. This Patriots team could care less about 10 years ago. I don't see Peyton Manning. I don't see Von Miller, right?
He's keeping it real.
But I do see a new Patriots team. I do like this Broncos team. It's going to come down to what Stidham can do.
Yeah.
I got some faith in the kid Stidham.
Yeah.
But there's an MVP Drake May on the other side.
Yeah.
There's a taste of the Super Bowl. They got a great fan base, though. I will tell them that.
Yeah, no doubt about it. AP, this game, man, it's a different type of energy, right?
It's different. You hear the crowd.
Yeah.
They know it's difficult. It's difficult. And when I was with the Giants, we had to win on the road. Yeah. And you had to bring your hard hat. It had to be the hard hat mentality. We had to carry the defense. You had to have the running game. You had to do all that stuff. But more importantly, for the Broncos, Stidham has to play well. Yep. Stidham has to play well. I was with him with the Raiders. He's boxing. You saw he came in with that cowboy hat today?
Yeah, looking like Yellowstone.
He's not worried about nobody today. He ain't worried about them Patriots.
Talk about the 07 season, the NFC Championship game that you played in. Famously cold. Gonna be cold here today, not too bad. But talk about that experience playing in cold weather, how you handle it.
First of all, this is not cold. We played at minus 23 degrees.
Yeah, it ain't cold enough.
With the windshield.
A lot of
we was out there
Vaseline.
earlier today on NFL Today Plus. It was chilly. This is football weather.
No doubt.
These guys are ready. I saw Roberts playing the middle linebacker for the Patriots. These guys run out there. They don't have shoes on. They don't care. The weather doesn't matter. You're one game away from the Super Bowl. That's what you do. You lay everything on the line for this one game.
Hey, Logan, okay, we get it. Mr. Patriot, been to a few Super Bowls. So you gotta say something about the New England Patriots other than just good. What is the area of concern for you about this Patriots team today coming to Denver?
Let's be honest. Let's be honest.
Let him talk. Let him talk.
The Patriots have one Achilles heel right now, and it's the left-sided offensive line. How are they going to handle Nick Bonito? The protection plan. They got to keep Drake May clean. He's been the most sacked quarterback so far in the playoffs. The Denver Broncos get a ton of sacks. But did you see that guy with no shoes on, Mac Hollins?
Oh, yeah.
All right, that's his job, to help out the left side, help out the left tackle. If they can keep Drake May clean, you got MVP Drake May in the house. I think it'll be an MVP day for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, as you guys think about this game, you understand that mistakes are going to happen, right, AP?
Yes.
So how do you stop a small wound from just bleeding out and that creating mistake after mistake after mistake?
It's got to be next man mentality, right? Next play mentality. You can't flinch. You can't blink in a game like this. You got two great teams playing against one another. They're going to make plays. Things not going to go your way. It's not going to be perfect for neither quarterback, but how they respond to the next play, how the coaches and the coordinators and the guys around them on both these quarterbacks, how they really support them. You can't really sit there and say, Stidham, go ahead and win this game by yourself.
Right.
Or Drake May, do it by yourself. The defense now can help this out. And if you're smart, if you're Mike Vrabel and those guys, you understand you got to take this crowd away right away. You can't let them affect the game. And if you're Stidham and you're Sean Payton, you need to get off to a fast start.
And Kirk, speaking of Stidham, you know a quarterback is loose in the pregame when they're playing the whole hit the uprights. So what do you think about this?
I love it. Did he hit the crossbar?
He hit the crossbar.
That's a great omen.
Is it a great omen?
The fans here are chanting. They got signs that say steady, steady. That's a pretty steady throw right there. That's a good start for the day.
So that means that steady, steady is loose.
Steady, steady looks pretty good right now, but he's got 3 hours up ahead that are going to define his day.
Let's go! Right. All right, don't you go anywhere. The NFL Today will return after the break. Let's go, Broncos, go,
There we go. There we go.
One of the great seasons the NFL has ever had.
Intercepted! Oh my goodness!
Another thriller.
Big time throw! I'm calling him the MVP.
This season of the NFL has been pure cinema, but not the kind you can make on a Hollywood studio lot. Just because these playoffs feel like a big-time action thriller doesn't mean they're as fabricated as what we produce in this place. Sure, these guys are professional entertainers, but there's no acting taking place on their stage.
Everybody's best!
The New England Patriots.
Believe in us! I like us, man!
The Denver Broncos.
Our job is to win, and to win, and to win.
Two teams on a 20-episode arc of collision and consequence, all leading to this.
They're going to party in Boston. The New England Patriots, they're on to the AFC Championship.
The Denver Broncos have won it in overtime.
The Broncos have climbed higher.
One more conflict before the season finale, where the Lombardi Trophy awaits. But there's no playwrights to consult, no lines to be fed. So don't waste your time searching for spoiler alerts. This story is yet to be written, because it won't be decided on a stage like this. It'll be decided on a stage like this.
The Mile High City is alive.
So sit back and enjoy the show. It's the AFC Championship on CBS.
Well, talk about a stage fit for stars. Folks, Empower Field right here at Mile High has already seen 3 AFC Championship games in its history. And right now, this place is bursting at the seams because in just about an hour, these fans will get a chance to witness another battle for the conference title. Home field advantage certainly means more here in Denver as the hometown Denver Broncos get set to take on the New England Patriots with an invite to the Super Bowl up for grabs. And a huge thank you to Luke Grimes, the star of the brand new Yellowstone spinoff show, Why Marshall, premiering on March 1st right here on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus. And folks, 28 years ago, it was Coach Bill Cowher and the Steelers who selected a young prospect out of Ohio State in the 3rd round of the 1997 NFL Draft. Today, that player, Mike Vrabel, has the New England Patriots 1 win away from Super Bowl 60. Coach sat down with this former linebacker this week to discuss their shared history and the impressive turnaround Vrabel has engineered in New England.
Mike Vrabel.
Hi, Coach. How are you?
A man from Ohio State who's come a long way.
Since 1997.
97 drafted you, yeah. And we had a good year that year.
Yeah, we did.
We lost to the Denver Broncos.
AFC Championship game.
Yeah.
In 3 Rivers.
You were such a part of us having a pretty special defense. And I remember after those 4 years, you were going to be a free agent. And I said to you,
I can pay you what these other teams are going to pay you, but I can't give you the same opportunity. And I said, that's all I need to know. That was your way of saying, you probably should take another look. I think you owe it to yourself to take another look somewhere else.
And did you appreciate that at the time?
No, I mean, I think that's, you learn a lot from that, just from the honesty, the transparency, being direct, with players is something that they appreciate. I think that's something that I learned, obviously, from you and from my time here in New England, and, try to take a little something with me everywhere I went.
You came back to a place that you played at.
Yep.
You brought in a bunch of free agents. Milton Williams, Carlton Davis, Harold Landry, Steph Diggs.
Ain't nobody like us!
Tell me about how these guys have been an integral part of this turnaround.
Just trying to get the right guys in here at the right time. And we knew that we needed to jumpstart this thing. And we got a lot of guys that have helped us, and then try to draft players that were talented and we felt like would fit what we want to do as a culture and, an identity.
May stands in, throws a long ball deep down the right side for Goody. Touchdown, Patriots!
Big time throw by the MVP. I'm calling him the MVP.
And you now have a young quarterback, as you being a defensive-minded guy. Do you reflect back on watching Bill and Tom? Does that come?
I mean, I was just such a different role.
But you and Drake, are you and Drake going down that same path?
Well, I don't know, but I know that I wanted to be here because of Drake. That was a big reason why I wanted to be here.
Defensive guy and offensive quarterback, and there is something kind of special about that.
It's the mentality that I'm trying to instill in him, the leadership, trying to take ownership of the offense. He's the conductor, and sometimes I forget how young he is. He's younger than both my kids, I know that. But I've enjoyed watching these guys have fun.
Coach Vrabel, we love playing for you. Appreciate it. Glad you're our head coach, and we love you, Coach.
Thank you. My coaching you had that DNA. You had the coaching DNA, but you also have a unique way of bringing people together. You have a way of bringing out the very best of people. I see you on the sideline, you're headbutting with Milt.
I wasn't expecting it. I didn't want to headbutt. Trust me, I'm done with that.
But it's more of a fatherly approach to it. It was funny, there was a moment last week, Will Campbell was coming off, his head's down. I know he had a tough afternoon. And you go, hey man, put a smile on your face.
Well, it's the National Football League. Sometimes, sometimes the bear gets you. These things happen. And there's adversity that you have to overcome. You can't let mistakes spiral and build up on you.
I was at practice today. It's funny, a lot of the guys said, hey, I said, I coached Mike. So what was he like? What was he like? And I'm just gonna say this to you, and as I said to him, he's where he should be. And I just want to say that to you as we close this thing, that it was a pleasure to know you, and it's a pleasure to watch you grow as a football coach. Pushing him when you have to push him.
Yeah.
Also, patting on the back.
Well, I appreciate that. That means a lot. I want them to enjoy coming to work. Yeah. And it's not that we're easy on it, but we got to enjoy this thing.
Good luck Sunday,
Thanks,
man.
Coach.
Thanks, man.
Talk about an incisive interview. I mean, Coach, that was simply awesome. And I know we're going to have a chance to talk with him a bit more about that. But I understand that we've now got to welcome in our honored guest, if you will, our friends, the #1 NFL announcing team and the face and voice of CBS. You guys have done football for so long. What Mike Vrabel has done is simply remarkable in 1 year.
It is. I mean, the turnaround, he's already got one Coach of the Year award from the Pro Football Writers Association, and I think the big one at the honors will come up next week. That'll be his second. I just want to say this. We waited for them to get in. They were late last night. We were at their hotel. The first thing we said when we saw Coach Vrabel was, "How was your week?" The first thing he said, "I got a visit with Coach Cowher." He was so stoked about the time that you spent with him. And I see now so much of you in Mike Vrabel. I do. That meant a lot to him that you visited with him, and you made a huge impact on his career.
You know, the one thing in that article, I asked him, I said, you know, you stepped down for a year, just like Sean Payton did. What kind of reflection mode did you have from that? You know, he said he was in Cleveland with Jim Schwartz and Kevin Stefanski. He had a little office down in their weight room. And he said he realized the importance of having a relationship with the players. And that's why you see the fatherly figure. He's out there high-fiving, slapping these guys. So that year off helped a lot for him.
Only natural for us to go to the quarterback and have so much talk about Stidham and his role in today's game. Talk about what your advice to him would be.
Well, I think the biggest reason was Sean Payton starting off the week. He got ahead of the message. He wanted his team to understand we're going to win this game just because our starting quarterback is down. So I thought him getting out and controlling the message right away was key, and he's instilled that confidence. I mean, this is crisis time, and I don't think anybody thrives in that situation more than Sean Payton.
You know, the one thing, Tony, I was going to ask you about, because I always thought the first 10 plays, get him comfortable.
Yes.
Maybe it's Jared Stidham. Sean goes, you tell me the first 10 plays you want, right?
Yeah.
Make sure you get in there so he feels comfortable to get into the flow of the game, the speed of the game, because he has not played a regular season, let alone playoff game yet.
So this is why I think it's a really interesting. Styles make fights. We know that all the time. When I watched the tape this week, I actually think there's a chance for Stidham to get comfortable early in this game because we have a collapsing defense, a two-gap system in New England. So I think I would throw the ball on early downs, first down and second down, then protect him on third down. That's when I run it, throw screens. But on early downs, I actually think he's going to have more time than as if he went against Houston or some of the other opponents.
You know, Tony talks about nerves all the time because he was in that position, and you got to feel it. You got to think Jared's going to feel it as much as he told us. He's been calm all week, as calm as he's ever been. And that holds true, I think, as well for Drake May.
Yeah.
You know, it's been rough the first two postseason games. He has not been well protected. He's fumbled it 6 times. He's just 23 years old. He's been sensational. But he, too, is going to come into this game feeling the edge, the excitement that you're one step away from the big prize, going to the Super Bowl.
Now, I know the three of you swing a pretty good club. Jim Nance has been trying to get me to take golf lessons at the various clubs he's a part of. Golf, PGA, kicking off next weekend with?
Yes, the Farmers Insurance Open from beautiful Torrey Pines. You're trying to get me to drop into my golf voice here. I can't wait to be back with my team there, and I hate to say goodbye to my team out here on football, but we got a great field next week and the return of Brooks Koepka to the PGA Tour. I spoke with Brooks a couple of days ago. He's really thrilled to be coming back home. He's appreciative of the leadership of the PGA Tour and Tiger Woods and the people that really weighed how to get him in a re-entry situation into the tour. So Brooks is going to be there. He says he feels like a kid again, and he's going to be going against a really strong field with the likes of Xander Schauffele, Patrick Cantlay, Hideki Matsuyama, Tony Finau, Max Homa. And we'll be there next week. We're going to start the whole West Coast swing. And all these top players, he's coming back to a group with McIlroy and Scotty Scheffler at their very best. We're glad to have him back.
Tony, as you know, all you need to do is give Nance a morsel. He will cover it thoroughly, ad-libbing.
Let's go play golf.
Okay.
Let's do it.
I'll do that. Hey, thank you guys very much.
Appreciate you guys. Love you guys.
Hey, folks, and we've got a lot more coming your way here on the NFL Today as we get set for today's AFC Championship game. Of course, that between Denver and New England.
Championship edition of the NFL Today. Jarrett Stidham is ready to ride as the Broncos QB. But do the guys think the former backup has what it takes to knock off the Patriots? Sean Payton has the top-seeded Broncos one game away from Super Bowl 60.
AFC Championship! Oh, wait!
And he'll talk with Tracy live before today's showdown with New England. The Patriots defense has been playing lights out. But what does Mike Vrabel have in store to slow down the Broncos in today's AFC Championship game? That's all straight ahead on the NFL Today on CBS.
He's ready. Like I said this beginning of the season, I've got a 2 that's capable of starting for a number of teams. Watch out. Just watch.
I know Jared very, very well. I have no doubt in my mind that Jared's going to be ready to go. He's had success in the NFL, and he's a very, very talented guy. He's a leader.
Just fired up for the opportunity for these guys in this locker room. And at the end of the day, it's still football. That's how I view it. So I'm not treating it any differently. I'm just going to go out there and play and be myself. I like to, keep the vibes high in the locker room. And we're playing in the AFC Championship. We're one of the last 4 teams playing. Like, what's not fun about this?
Well, folks, there's a lot to be said about the confidence that the Broncos have in Jarrett Stidham, as you just heard there. Offensive tackle Mike McGlinchey said this week, Stidham has been waiting for this moment for the entirety of his career, a career that many may not be too familiar with. Check it out, Stidham, drafted by the Patriots in the 4th round in the 2019 draft, but never started a game in his 3 years in New England. He did, however, start 2 games for the Raiders back in 2022 under then head coach, now Patriots offensive coordinator Josh McDaniels. He signed with Denver in 2023, playing the final 2 games of that season, but has not thrown a meaningful pass since, and today will be his first career playoff, that with an awful lot of pressure on his shoulders.
I think Josh McDaniels bringing Jarrett Stidham with him from New England to Las Vegas speaks volumes as to his belief in Jarrett Stidham as a quarterback and what he can do in this league. I also think the Broncos and what they're willing to compensate Jarrett Stidham as a quarterback says a lot about what they think of him. Here is a way Josh McDaniels started a game against the Niners back in 2022 near the end of the season. This was a very elite defense. Got him moving, got him outside the pocket, easy check down to start the game. Great way to start the game. I expect Sean to do similar things today. Then they get to a similar look again with a play action rollout. Again, get the defense's eyes in the backfield. Jarrett's very comfortable getting on the move, throwing an accurate pass here for a touchdown. Great way to generate explosives that don't have to be hard-earned. Now, this play is hard-earned. Here's a 3rd down, double-A look. He's stepping up in the pocket, feels opening to his left, chooses to move out to his left, chooses not to kick it down to Devontae, stares down the barrel here and throws a big-time explosive for a touchdown to Devontae Adams. Those are the plays that I don't think Sean Payton can scheme for him. We talked about a first 15 and trying to help him out with play action. There's things you can do, but at the end of the day, 3rd and 9, Jarrett Stidham's going to have a chance to show why he belongs as a starter in this league and not just a backup.
Go ahead, Coach.
No, I was going to say, just staying on schedule is important because, like you said, 3rd and 9, he's not going to win a lot of those. But I tell you, Sean Payton will have a plan coming out here. I think 1st down, if there's going to be explosives to be made, it's on 1st down. You have a chance to take your shot. Otherwise, you don't get the big plays. Keep it to 3rd and 5 or less where he can work within the system, work within the down and distance. So staying ahead of schedule will be very important.
Yeah, as soon as Bo Nix went down, the conversation was, what type of game plan will the Broncos come into this game with? And there's 2 paths. There's a way of being conservative and really making sure that you call a game plan schematically that protects Jarrett Stidham. But then on the flip side, there's a way of being aggressive. And aggressive doesn't mean reckless. Aggressive means that we can give our own offense confidence by calling the same type of game plan we have called all season. And it's twofold. Simultaneously, if you're aggressive, you will back up that defense. The Patriots will be on their heels because you're taking shots downfield. You are making sure they can't just keep their eyes on Stidham in the backfield and bring pressure. So I just feel like an aggressive game plan seems like a game plan that, one, fits the identity of this offense, but also will give Stidham in his offense confidence.
Stidham's got confidence, and all year long it's been that offensive line protecting their guy. And you can see Bo Nix up here in the booth. Really tough spot for this guy to be in, obviously. Yeah. It was really terrible to watch him go down. But you got to be confident if you're Bo Nix that your replacement, Jarrett Stidham, is going to be behind a very, very strong wall of offensive linemen. We talk about units, Coach. That unit is just as good as any on the field today.
We're on the other side of it, too. Coming on the road for the first time for Drake May. He's played 2 playoff games at home. Now you're going against this defense. We've talked about ball security. That's going to be very, very important for him as well. They're going to get some pressure. Van Joseph is going to light it up again. You used to do double-A mugs. He's going to come after him. They can rush the quarterback. That's why I think leaning on that running game. And again, I think for both these quarterbacks, the play-action game, if you're going to take your shots, it's first down. Because that's when everyone's playing the run, playing it safe. Take your shots down the field. You just don't get into third and longs against either one of these defenses.
Both play callers need to put the wind at the back of their quarterbacks today, and we're going to see what they're able to do. But I will say this backup quarterback thing, and Kyle, you can speak to it as a lineman, it can go one of two ways. It can either be a guy that you believe in, and he starts to make plays, and the team kind of rallies, and everybody elevates their game, knowing that they need to give a little bit more because it's not the starting quarterback, and this guy's thrown 0 pass attempts this season. Or it can go the other way where they say, no, we're not feeling it. We're not getting the juice from him, and now it starts to kind of negatively impact the team. Based on everything coming out of Denver this week, it's going to go the right way, and this team's going to up their game. This coaching staff is going to up their game to help this guy play at his absolute best.
Last week, they started no huddle. What they do to the games with Stidham.
That's a good point, Coach.
They Stidham. I mean, they started last week with Bo Nix, no huddle. Because Sean has said, we got to start fast. His lack of a starting fast has been a big part of why they've had these fourth quarter comebacks.
Yeah.
Do they do it again today with Stidham?
I believe they do, Coach. Listen, I think the assumption is that Sean Payton is going to play conservative, milk the clock, and keep that Patriots offense on the sideline. I don't believe that's the case. No. I believe he's going to curate a game plan that allows Stidham to be comfortable. And Kirk, to your point, as a wide receiver, even though Tracy Wolfson, our very own, reported that Stidham slept like a baby, you still understand that the nerves could get to him.
You have to say that.
Yes, you have to say that. But as a wide receiver, I know I might need to turn my head a little bit faster, make eyes with the quarterback. I might need to whip my head around out of my break, make sure that I'm a little bit more alert when I'm coming out of my route, just in case the quarterback gets a little antsy and Stidham has to get the ball out early.
Let me just say this. You wake up on today as a Denver Bronco offensive lineman. These are the days you dream of, and they don't come about very often. You get an opportunity to go punch a bully in the mouth with your offensive line, protect your backup. This is the stuff you dream of. When you look back 20 years from now, these are the days you won't forget.
Stidham actually has a similar game to Bo Nix, more similar than I realized before I studied him. But I will say, on 3rd and 7, Bo Nix would give you an 18-yard scramble on occasion. I don't think you're going to get that from Jarrett Stidham today. And so Sean's third down plan is going to have to be that much tighter to really allow Jarrett to get through his progressions and find the open man.
And I just think early in the game to keep this thing, because he's going to have to get acclimated to the speed of the game. He has not played in a regular season game, let alone a playoff game. So I just think early on, as long as they can keep this thing close, again, this plays into the hands of the Denver Broncos. And not getting an early lead right now for the New England Patriots, and he has to play catch up, then I don't think it's a good sign.
And Kyle, I'll pick up where you left off, and I don't want to be dramatic, but this is what you dream about as a kid. You're a backup quarterback. You haven't played in a while. Your QB goes down in the playoffs, one step away from the Super Bowl. Here you are as a backup. You understand what it's like to be a backup and know that I can play this game at a high level, and then all of a sudden you get an opportunity with everything riding. Now, listen, for Jarrett Stidham, this is obvious, right? You play and you prove that you're not just some backup that deserves $7 or $8 million. You're a guy that deserves big-time starter money. And on top of that, I think you can reshift the narrative of what it means to have an insurance policy. A backup quarterback is the most insurance policy in all of football. It's one of the things that you hope you don't need until you actually need it. So he's not just playing for himself and being a backup, but also every single backup quarterback in the NFL is watching this game closely and hoping Stidham has a day.
Amen.
You know, I think most of us know that there's no such thing as engaging in hyperbole when you talk about Sean Payton, the coach of the Denver Broncos. He wouldn't say this if he didn't believe it, but he also has instilled enthusiasm then. And talking with Pat Kerwin, our guy, saying there are only a handful of quarterbacks in the league, backup, who might be making $6 or $7 million a year. That speaks something. Cal, your thoughts, buddy?
The horses are ready for battle, JB. Here comes the O-line. And Jarrett Stidham's going to be a new voice for them under center. Like Coach said, the speed of the game will come on you fast, but that stuff goes away. It's just football at the end of the day, Coach.
I love it. We'll find out. In the trenches, baby.
All right, folks, earlier this week, Coach Cowher and Nate Burleson put together a special breakdown of today's superstar performers. Take a look.
The NFL Today is sponsored by Geico. It feels good to Geico. FanDuel. Play your game. And by Ram Trucks. Nothing stops Ram.
Last fall, in an effort to support our troops and their families, the Patriots Foundation partnered with PepsiCo and Operation Shower to host a group baby shower for 30 military moms and moms-to-be. And in games of this magnitude, folks, the attention shines brightest on the biggest names, but the game is often decided by those who step up in the moment, waiting for this opportunity. So I turn to my guys and ask, who is your biggest X factor?
Well, I was talking line of scrimmage all day. I'm going to talk a little guy here, Jaquan McMillan, okay? Nobody in the secondary gets more sacks than this guy for the Denver Broncos. Look for VJ to use this guy in the backfield, Coach.
I like it.
I'm going with the Broncos corner, who's a little less known than Patrick Surtain. I'm going with Riley Moss. Nobody really challenges Surtain. They don't want to waste plays going after him. I'll be interested to see if Surtain travels with Stephon Diggs, but the other side is where all the action goes, and he has a lot of PBUs because he gets so much attention. But Riley Moss, this could go one of two ways. It could either be a banner day for him where he's kind of the difference maker, or he could be the reason that the Patriots come out here with a win.
For me, I'm going with the guy that I don't believe we talk about enough, Kayshon Boutte. You see that right there, that one-handed 32-yard divisional round TD was absolutely beautiful. But Kayshon Boutte is that guy that whenever it's one-on-one coverage, you better believe that Drake May is looking for him. I don't care if he's lined up against your nickelback or your number one corner in Patrick Surtain II. I just believe that this guy is one big play away from changing the complexion of every game that he plays in. That's my X factor.
And I'll tell you, we haven't talked special teams yet, man. How about special teams and punt return?
Yeah.
That's Marcus Jones. This guy's one of the best punt returners in the game.
Yeah.
He also is a nickelback.
Yeah.
He blitzes. He's got picks. He's got sacks. And even on the other side in Denver, they have Marvin Mims Jr. I think this is going to be a game where the defense is going to show up. There could be a lot of punts in this game, and I think the punt returns this game could be the difference in the game. I like that guy right there, Marcus Jones. He's electric with the ball in his hands.
That's a great X factor, Coach. I really think he might be the best nickel in the league, and in today's defenses, very few defenses are in base all that often, so you're seeing your nickel as a starting corner.
Totally.
He's playing a lot of snaps, so he will be a big factor in this game. How about the environment in here? We're getting closer to kickoff. I'm starting to feel the juices. This is the AFC Championship, man. This isn't week 4, and you're starting to feel it now in warm-ups. I love it.
I made eye contact with a wild animal here. It was actually a defensive lineman. I made an eye contact, and that stuff you're talking about, the intensity.
This is real.
The gravity, it's here. I can feel it. We're going to get ready for some black and blue football shortly.
Yeah. Speaking of intensity, how about Sean Payton? He has a big day planned because he's playing with another guy in his backup quarterback. Coming up, the master tactician, the man on the mission, speaks with our Emmy winner, Tracy Wolfson. He's going to have to get back to the big game by playing with this backup quarterback in this big game.
Super Bowl. This is like,
Well, these two quarterbacks are facing different kinds of pressure, folks, but pressure nonetheless. And with just about an hour to go, make that a half hour to go, 30 minutes before kickoff, the moment has to be setting in for both of those men.
Now, one thing that we're not talking about enough is Drake May's ability to run.
Sure.
Listen, he can make every throw in the book. And we understand that this Denver defensive line, they are going to be aggressive. The trenches, they are going to be lane disciplined. But when he does find a lane, he's going to keep his eyes upfield, so he wants to make that throw. He'll give receivers the ability to run 2 routes in one in scramble drills. But if he needs to, he can make plays with his leg.
Yes.
Let's keep an eye on that. Last week, we saw Josh Allen make some plays with his legs up against this Denver defense. So along with his big playability and his arm, football IQ, keep an eye out for his ability to extend plays with his legs.
I think an off-schedule play could be the difference in this game.
That's a good point, Kurt.
I will say, I'm always amazed playing in this league how long the game is. You have to let the game come to you. And with the emotions of a championship game, you want to go out there, you want to get the first third down, you want to score on the first drive, you want to get an early lead and allow your pass rush to get going. But you have to let the game come to you and understand it's a long game and just play through the smoke. That'll be very important for these young quarterbacks to just have a long view in mind and play through that smoke.
That's a really great point, Kirk. And as an offensive lineman, the best friend you can have is a quarterback who can get himself out of some sticky situations. situations. And we know with the protection issues, there will be some sticky situations, but it's a long game. That guy, Drake May, can bail you out of some bad spots. So I'm really looking forward to that. It breaks the back of a defense when you have guys plastered on the second level, you win your rushes up front, and Superman puts on his cape and makes a play. You can see the defeat in their eyes, Coach.
And this is a game, to me, you're one step away. The Super Bowl is the Super Bowl. That's a finality. This is the one, to me, that you're here. You've worked too hard to get here. This is the one, like right now, you're going to exchange jabs. But someone's going to have to respond to adversity. Yes. Someone's going to have to sit there and answer to the bell. And I think that's what makes the differences right there. Who can have that conviction? Who can have that resiliency, the ability to step back, not let it be too big to them, stay in the moment, but also take it to the next level.
And who's going to settle your team down? We're looking at Stephon Diggs. Listen, there's moments during this season where this offense kind of hit a dry spot. They needed a big play. And all of a sudden, Diggs, who may not even be balling out statistically speaking in a game, will come up with a big catch. Yep. And all of a sudden, that energy will be that kind of shift that they need offensively.
And is this a guy, and this is one of those games, managing your emotions is very, very important. And a guy like Steph, who walks on the edge, this is a guy right here. Is this game get to the point if it starts to get away?
You got to know when to dial it up and dial it back.
Dial it back. And that's where I would say where Mike Vrabel was very good with that.
I think Josh McDaniels knows I need to get 8 a touch early. Yeah. I think he wants to get him involved early. Yeah. You don't want Stephon Diggs coming to the sideline in the second quarter without a touch. Let's get him going, get his juices going. He's the best receiver on their team and one of the most dynamic players on their roster.
Coach, you talked about wanting to have players that can control their emotions, but also they're willing to turn that dial to 11.
They can walk the line.
There's a lot of dogs here in this AFC.
You got to be able to walk the line, man.
As a coach, you'd rather say whoa than sick 'em. And
100%.
We're gonna get a lot of whoa out there today. I can't wait.
And Kirk, you talked about this a little bit earlier. A lot is going to be determined or discovered when we see their first 15 plays.
Yes.
Because we know what a coach is thinking by how he dialed up the first 15. Because the first 15, of course, it's all about scheme and strategy, but it is also about how I get my guys going.
Yes.
It sends a message to your own squad how we're about to approach the next 60 minutes.
Well, as a matter of fact, Nate described the leader for the Denver Broncos, Sean Payton, who is one of the best strategists and tacticians in the game as well, too. Coach, talk about what he will bring to this game as well.
Sean Payton, you know what his message was? We're the underdogs. We got nothing to lose. Let's just go out there, play loose, have fun. Just go, Stidge, just play, man. And everybody else, you guys just got to do your job. Don't worry about Stidham. He'll be fine. Everybody else got to ratchet up. And the bottom line, I would say in a game like this, finish. Finish every play. Finish every drive. And I think in a game like this, points matter. So I've said here all year, you sit there right now, momentum's a real thing. You talk about analytics. You got a chance to take points. Take the points. Take the 3 points. We've had so many lead changes in these playoffs. Take them early. Don't sit there go for the fourth down. Because you momentum, when you get momentum, that puts pressure on them.
On the other team. Coach, you mentioned that Stidham will be fine. Kirk, I want to toss it to you because you mentioned it during the pregame, but also how Stidham, he was drafted to play ball.
And we're going to hold Kirk up on that for a second because we're going to hear from Sean Payton with Tracy Wolfson.
Thanks a lot, JB and Coach. What a week it's been. But you thrive in these situations. You thrive with backup quarterbacks. What gives you confidence that Jarrett Stidham could get the job done today?
Well, we've had a lot of exposure to Jarrett. He's been here for 3 years and played a lot of football. Man, he's had an outstanding week. We're excited about today.
When you look at this Patriots team, what concerns you, and where do you think you can get the edge?
They have good balance on offense. They've done a great job of time and possession. Look, these games are going to be won in the trenches, and they always are.
What would it mean to take a team to the Super Bowl again?
Well, we're not interested in being P2. All right, Lewis Hamilton, one of our owners, we're interested in being P1.
Good luck today.
Thank you.
A little Formula One reference there from Coach Payton. But I really do believe that Coach Payton's going to embrace the underdog card today. He's got his team ready. I think he sees this game's on him. I don't think he feels Stidham has to carry the team. I think he says, I, as the play caller and as the play designer, have to carry this thing. And I think Sean takes pride in that. And it's happened before. Sean invested in Teddy Bridgewater as a backup when he was in New Orleans. And in 2019, Drew Brees went down. Teddy started weeks 3 through 7, went 5-0. And you saw what Sean could do with a backup quarterback who was capable. And we can see here with Stidham, with the contract they gave him in his history, he is capable. So the difference between Stidham and Bridgewater is Teddy had started for years and had a lot of experience. Not the case as much with Jarrett, but I think the success that Sean had with the backup quarterback, I think it's a point of pride in Sean to be able to say, am I a good enough coach that I can go to the Super Bowl and win a Super Bowl with a backup quarterback? And if he can do that, it's another feather in the cap of one of the top quarterback coaches in this league's history.
And even in that interview, Sean Payton to me is like a robot. He's going to stick with whatever the game points are. He talked about in the trenches, big boy.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, there's no secrets. And you watch some of the teams that he had that had a lot of success. They were big old bulls up front, particularly in the middle. They could run the football, throw the football. He's got that same kind of confidence in this group on both sides of the ball today, Nate.
You know, you talk about physicality. I think both these coaches are going to talk about the physicality of this football game. Sean Payton talked about the trenches. I can tell you Mike Vrabel is talking about the physicality going against the offense of the Denver Broncos. So, I mean, I think, again, for them on offense, it's going to be Josh McDaniels. I mean, I think he's going to sit there and say, we can control the line of scrimmage. They did it against the best defense, precede maybe last week, Houston, Denver 1-2. They ran the football against Houston last week. He's going to say that's going to be the situation this week. That will slow down a pass rush and give Drake May a chance to work down the field.
Sean will not coach scared.
No.
He will not coach scared.
Yeah,
There's the Thunder Cam.
Shout out to Thunder.
Love the real mascot.
And bringing the Thunder.
Live animal mascots.
Speaking of Thunder, you mentioned physicality. It kind of reminds me what we've been watching in this postseason. This postseason has been very, very physical. And obviously, we talk about the offense and running backs, wide receivers, and quarterbacks making a game-changing play. What about a DB coming downhill? A linebacker coming downhill, 100%. Smacking the snot out of your running back. What about a D lineman running free, blindside hit on your quarterback that changes the complexion? I haven't seen this many big-time, old-school, physical, clean hits in a long time. So shout out to the defensive guys that have an opportunity to change the game with one big pick, one big PPU, and one big hit.
These two inside middle linebackers,
Come on now.
Spillane and Singleton, these guys can hit.
Oh,
that linebacking crew, Chisholm, Ellis, and Spillane, those three linebackers from New England, they are downhill. They can get after you.
Yeah.
This is two of the best linebacking cores in the playoff history.
Let me go back big picture to get you guys to comment on it. Your interview with Mike Vrabel was sensational. I asked many of you guys historically, there have not been many teams. John Madden, God bless him, used to say, if there are one or two players that you have to add to a Super Bowl contender, you can get there easier, but not with the wholesale change. Vrabel and the Patriots, 13-plus free agents they've brought in, and they get it done in 1 year. But one of the big things that came out of that interview, you said, Vrabel has connected with his guys.
He's connected with his guys, and I think for both these coaches, the one thing they have in common, they both took a year off. 2 years ago, Sean Payton took a year off, and he kind of got his juices, got rejuvenated. Mike Vrabel talked about the fact he took that year off. His reflection point was he was sitting there in the Cleveland Stadium as an assistant coach with Stefanski and Jim Schwartz. He had a little office down in the dungeon. And he said, I sat there and realized how important it was to have a relationship with players. And you see him when he came back this year. He's going out there. He's more fatherly in what he's trying to do. He's more positive in what he's going to do. There's a lot of toughness, but there's a lot of love in that building right now. And you talk about that football team being the New England Patriots.
I've talked to some players in that locker room, and I've asked them, tell me about Coach Vrabel, even going back to OTAs when they first got going. And they said, first of all, Kirk, he is the absolute alpha.
Yeah.
In a locker room of alpha males, he is the alpha. And they said it as a compliment. That's a good thing. They said, secondly, he does a phenomenal job of knowing when to be serious, when to be intense, when to be demanding, and then when to make it fun, when to make it light, when to build those relationships, as you talked about. And I think the ability as a head coach to find that balance is a tricky balance to find, but it sounds like he's really cracked the code on it.
Hey, Nate, I got to ask you, Nate, even with all the game plans, even with all the details, Mike Vrabel said there are times when he just comes at you guys as players, and he'll say, look, throw it. Go out and play football and
go
just
out
win
and
the
play
game.
some ball,
just
JB.
Win. Yes,
you're right about that, 100%. Hey, the stars are out for this game. We have Queen Latifah and Chris Rock. Let's see if I can tie these two together. Get ready for the AFC Championship game because the stage is set. It's no joke because these two teams are about to set it off.
NFL Today on CBS is powered by Ram Trucks. Nothing stops Ram.
Our countdown to kickoff continues, and with less than 20 minutes separating us from the start of this AFC title game, Mile High Stadium is brimming with anticipation, and the energy and excitement here is palpable. All right, folks, so turn playoff mode on with FanDuel, where all customers are getting boosts and other rewards to use on same-game parlays and more throughout the playoffs. All right, fellas, what are your picks for today's game?
Well, I talked about the running game with the New England Patriots. I'm going to say for Ramondre Stevenson, the guy that Mike Vrabel did not give up on with some early fumbles early in the season. He also catches the ball out of the backfield. I say he has 70 total yards or more.
All right, this Denver defense, they're not afraid to go man-to-man. And this Patriots offense, they're not afraid to take shots versus man-to-man. And Kayshon Boutte is one of the biggest big-time play receivers in the game. So I'm going with Kayshon Boutte anytime TD in this matchup.
How about Zach Allen, one of the most selfless rushers in football, usually setting up his edge players to get sacks. Today, Zach Allen with a sack.
All right, so Kirk's mic was intentionally muted during that second year. However, 10 years ago, right here on this field, folks, the Broncos defeated the Patriots by a score of 20-18. What will be the result today, a decade later?
I have the New England Patriots winning 24-20. I think they're the better team right now. I think the quarterback is there. I think it's a tall task right now, but I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, 24-20 New England.
Listen, I believe that Denver, they will defend, they will hit, they will make it uncomfortable. Sean Payton will help Stidham become a little bit more steady with an aggressive game plan. But on the flip side, New England, their defense travels well. They know how to bring pressure. And Drake May has already shown that he knows how to survive the chaos, make plays, and get a big win. I'm going with the Patriots in this one, 23-20.
I really don't want to pick against Sean Payton, his Denver defense, and this home crowd. But it just goes to show my confidence in this New England team. Mike Vrabel, Josh McDaniels, Drake May, the way they've just been so steady all season. Not flashy, but so much substance to what they do.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm going New England 27, Denver 21.
We are in Denver, right? I want to make sure we make it out of the stadium alive. I'm going to go with the Denver Broncos 24-21, the team with the better lines of scrimmage. I truly believe in that. You heard Sean Payton say it's going to be about the trenches, and I believe you, Coach.
All right, folks. Well, you know what? All week long, we've been talking about the plight that Jarrett Stidham faces in just a few minutes. But history says that there is hope. Look at these three quarterbacks that led their squads to Super Bowl glory, folks.
I think a big difference in this situation is that all these guys played a lot of football.
Yeah,
Jarrett has 0 pass attempts and 4 career starts. These guys played, meaning Doug Williams was a first-round pick. Nick Foles had started and gone to a Pro Bowl. So the lack of experience is my only question mark, but there is no concern from his teammates, from his coaching staff. They believe in him and his ability. We're going to find out.
Well, you talk about, is it the quarterback or is it the team? This is going to be a great statement today. As Jarrett Stidham can come in here and 1 week's work and go in there, we're talking about the best team out of the AFC, not just the quarterback. So we sit there and put a lot of pressure and say, the championship is about a quarterback. This is a chance to say, go against that theory.
Hey, the only people on planet Earth who knows what Jarrett Stidham has right now, this week, is the Denver Broncos. The world will find out soon. Can't wait to watch it.
Yeah, and let's keep in mind, this is like a heavyweight bout. Listen, they might be feeling each other out with the jab for the first quarter or two. We have to wait until halftime to see what adjustments are made coming out in the third and fourth quarter. But right out the gate, I believe that Sean Payton is going to allow Jarrett Stidham to make some plays, feel comfortable in the pocket, just like a shooting guard, to see the ball go in the basket and then catch a rhythm.
And I think the last thing I would say, the biggest element to me, the biggest factor, who can finish drives? I think points will be at a premium. Getting down into the red zone, can you finish it with a touchdown or you have to kick a field goal? And if you get down there, don't take the points, because I think points will be at a premium.
Yep, teams that score touchdowns in the red zone win. Teams that have to settle for field goals lose.
Well, when Drake May, the X factor in the red zone too. So we talked about his legs. That's gonna be something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, and whether you're at home or at a bar, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. You always ask for old school football. Well, here you have it. You got the weather. You got two teams that are physical, offenses that can make plays. This is as good as it gets in the NFL.
Paratroopers.
Yeah. You know, when you play in the Super Bowl, I haven't been fortunate enough to play in the Super Bowl, but I'm told by people I've talked to, it's very corporate. There's celebrities on the sidelines. The fans are kind of half and half. The conference championship game is different.
You can feel
These are true fans. This is what home field advantage is all about.
Yes.
Champions right now, you are one game away. You can feel the vibrations. You can feel the determination. You can feel the pressure. But also, it's the greatest surface in the world, the greatest atmosphere in the world, the greatest theater in the world.
So Stidham came in with his cowboy hat, coat open wide. He's saying, let's ride, Nate.
That's right, Broncos country, let's ride for sure, JB. And we will see you folks at halftime. It's the NFC AFC championship game. Patriots Broncos next.